Today, we're going to go through step by step and show you how to replace the brass bushes on your George Knight clamshell press, be it a DK20 or a DK16. How to know you need to replace your brass bush kit is to look at your top two bolts mainly. If any of them are not level and are on a slight angle, then it's time to replace. Or if you jiggle your machine around, if any of those bolts move at all, then it's time to replace. So the first thing you want to do is remove the top heat platen by unscrewing it all the way and then lifting the arms up and out. Next, we have to unscrew all the bolts that hold the frame together. They may be tight as they are Loctited on. And once out, be careful of the washers that will drop out of the middle. Once you have the arm off, place it on a surface that will allow you to push the brass bush through the piece without any obstruction. Now you need an 11.5mm drill. Place it directly over the brass bush and lightly tap it until it falls through. Repeat that for all 8 of the brass bushes. Okay, now to be able to detach the lower piece of the arm, we need to take off the 2 gas struts. So remove them. Before you remove the bottom part of the clamping arm, make sure you remove your sensor.
You will receive 2 different size bushes. The 8 wider bushes go in the clamping arms, and the 4 narrower bushes go in the main frame of the press.
Before replacing the bushes, make sure to give the hole a clean with a rag. You can use some Terps if you'd like, and just make sure that it's clean of any debris. When it comes time to replace the bush, you should be able to just push it into place and it will sit in the entrance of the hole, and then lightly tap it in with a hammer. In a circular motion as I'm going, until it sits perfectly flush. Same goes for the clamshell arms. Make sure you clean them out before putting the bush in. And just place it on top and lightly tap it in. Again in a circular motion as you tap. When it's far enough in, you'll hear the noise that the hammer makes change, and then you're good to go.
Once all the bushes have been replaced, we can go ahead and bolt the machine back together. Easiest way to do this is just place a bolt just through the tip of the frame. This will give you enough room just to put the 2 brass washers on. Once they're on, you can lift the clamping arm up into place and push the bolt all the way through. You may need to wiggle it a little bit just to get it all the way in. There's then a washer that has to go on the inside. And we also need to apply a little bit of Loctite just to this bolt. There'll be a packet that comes in the kit that you purchase. Just place a few drops up on top and you'll see it'll allow it to run down the sides of the bolt. Then when we go to apply the nut, it is a tight space near this control box that we need to get into. It's best to use 2 hands just to give yourself a little bit more control, just to get the nut started. And then we can go ahead and use the spanner and the Allen key. When tightening this bolt, it doesn't have to be as physically tight as we can get it. The bolt needs to be loosened off slightly so that it can move. You'll see here it's not moving at all. We just need to loosen it off half a turn just to allow that bolt to be able to rotate, and this will also allow those 2 arms to be able to move independently of one another. Now when it comes to tightening up our gas struts, we need to make sure we leave a little bit of a gap in between the frame of the strut and the actual nut that we tighten on. If we tighten it all the way up against the gas strut, it will possibly snap when it tries to rotate. So we just need to make sure that we don't tighten it hard up against it. Just leave a little gap. Now we also need to put in our tilt switch. This will need to go on a specific angle once we get it in there, but we'll need to turn the machine on to actually determine that angle. So just put it in and tighten it up. And when we turn the machine on, we can actually just adjust that angle by hand until it works perfectly.
At the end, just screw the heat platen back on to your required depth. And you're good to go. If you need any further assistance with this process, just contact us here at help@gjs.co.